In this video, we will show you how to set your rodeo volunteer schedule and share it with your members, parents, and volunteers in your association. The Rodeo Volunteer Scheduler and Tracker is part of a bundle of software services from Rodeo Producer that also includes the Rodeo Revenue and Expense Tracker. You can find them on our website, rodeoproducer.com, under Services, Volunteers and Expenses. These rodeo software products are ideal for use by rodeo secretaries and rodeo office managers to help with the ongoing scheduling and reporting duties of your organization's season. Let's talk about the Rodeo Volunteer Schedule and Tracker. It is a 100% web-based solution, meaning you can access it with any web browser on any device, including desktops, laptops, tablets, and smartphones. PC-based or Mac-based, it doesn't matter. And there is no software to download. It all runs off our servers, and all data is stored in our secure database. So you don't have to worry about a lost device or device dropped in a watering trough or stomped on by a bucking bronc or left in the horse trailer. The volunteer scheduler follows the schedule of your rodeo draw, including performances and goes. So in order to set up the schedule, we first need to set up some basic information. So from the Rodeo Producer website, we are headed over to the Start button. So when you click on Start from the menu, you will be taken to the login page, and of course you will have your username and password that we will assign. We'll now log in as a super admin. And the volunteer scheduler follows the schedule of your rodeo draw, including performances and goes. So in order to set up the schedule, we first need to set up some basic information. Let's first create a rodeo season. We'll go to Rodeo Setup, Set Season. We will create a new season here. We will simply call this 2025, and we will put in start dates of, we'll go from March 1st to August 30th, and we will set a new season. And now the next thing to do will be to add our events. We go to Set Events, and as you see, we have no events listed in here yet. So we'll click Add a New Event. We will call this Barrel Racing. We don't have to enter a lot of this information as it's for some future functionality. We will need the name of the event and the draw sort order. We will set this to 1. This will be the order in which these events appear in your draw schedule. We don't need the rest of this information. We simply click Submit Now to save this event, and we see we have it in our list. We will add another event, and we will set this to number 2 in the draw sort order, and we will submit this to save it. Now we have several events, and now we'll add a few more. So now that we have 5 events added, you can always go and edit these events. Just click the edit, and you can change the name, you can change the draw sort order as necessary. So with the events added, with a season in place, the next thing is to add a rodeo. So we go to Set Rodeos, and we will add a new rodeo to the schedule, and we will call this one the April Rodeo. And in addition to the name, the most important things you'll set will be the dates here. We're going to make this a 2-day rodeo, 1 performance on the Saturday and 1 on the Sunday. You don't need to set the entry open and entry close dates. You can if you wish, just for information for your members. We'll now make sure that we have both of our performances set to the correct times. And that's how you would set the schedule for a standard rodeo with a couple of performances. If you have multi-go rodeos, you would set them here simply by clicking the appropriate format type and setting your dates and times for your goes. And we also want to make sure that we select our events. I missed one there. And then we hit save the settings. And now we have a rodeo in our rodeo schedule. So now that we have the necessary pieces in place, and you will only have to set the season You only have to set that up once. You'll only have to set up the events once per season. And of course, you will need to add each rodeo for your season as you go. So now that we have the necessary pieces in place, we can start to add to the volunteers. To add a volunteer to the schedule, they must first be in the member database. So we'll go to members, and what we recommend is that you actually have a member type for volunteers. So let's set that up. So we'll add a new membership type. We will call this volunteers. The fee for this would be 0. We'll give it a description of rodeo volunteers. It will be the first one we'll show in our list here. As this is not a competing member, we would check off that these would not be included in standings or results, which is, again, is some future functionality. And we would also suggest that you would add a prefix to this, such as V, so that these member numbers are easily identified. And then we'll save this member type. Now we can add members. We go to Manage Members, and we add a member. And all that's required here is first name, last name, and their email address. The rest of the information is not required. We will just hit Submit New Member, and then we can continue to add some more members. And now we have enough members here for our demo purposes. Now, one important point is that any member, whether they're listed as a volunteer member type or some competition type of member, can be assigned in the volunteer schedule. So let's get to adding some volunteers to the rodeo. We now go to Rodeo Setup, Set Volunteer Schedule. We will select the one rodeo that we have in our list here. And what we see here is now the draw schedule. So we have Performance 1 and its events. We have Performance 2 and its events. And as you see, no one is assigned yet. So now to assign a volunteer, we click on Assign Another Volunteer. We choose somebody from our list, and we can scroll down and add more volunteers. Now, because of the way this works, if Shannon is the volunteer in Performance 1 on Saturday, we can actually have a different volunteer for the same event in Performance 2 on Sunday. And the same for any of these other events. We'll add another volunteer here. We'll assign one to team roping. We'll assign a volunteer to saddle bronc. And of course, you can assign the same volunteer to different events as well. And so we would go through and continue to assign. We would click Save the Volunteer Schedule. And what you'll see here now is that you can actually add additional volunteers to the events. So here we'll add another one here, and then we'll just save that. And so you can see there's now 2 volunteers assigned to barrel racing. If you need to make changes, you can delete a volunteer. If you simply need to change somebody, you can go in and select another. And once you've made your changes, we hit save again, and those changes are set. So once you have all of your volunteers assigned, we'll then go back to Set Rodeos, and you'll see there's a switch here to turn the volunteer schedule on. We'll hit save, and then we'll have a look at this. We'll go to the public view, and here you see here's the rodeo schedule. We just have the one rodeo in there. There's a link that shows up if we've turned it on to see the volunteer schedule. We click that, and then here's the public view of the volunteer schedule. And you can actually add this schedule to your website. And you can see how to do that if we go to Set Volunteer Schedule, and if we go to the full instructions, and you'll see here it describes adding a link to Rodeo Producer, and there's an iframe code, and you simply copy and paste this into any window, into any page on your website, and the volunteer schedule will appear. And that's it for how to set your volunteer schedule in Rodeo Producer.